Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. Thanks to Sportsbet, I'm Roy. I Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the One
And Kelvin.
Coach of Calvinator.
The
last one.
plays.
The last one.
Hot Pies.
Premiers. The Premiers.
Premiers.
2023. Are we in for a good one, Cal?
Look, there's a couple of talking points, and the biggest one, and we'll start here because it's Nick Daicos.
Yes.
Now, 54%. Equal with Grundy as the third most selected player in fantasy, behind Harley Reid and Colby. Now,
Do people just go in and go, defenders come up first, click, top player?
And he's just a jet.
And he is.
so he got Maginness, right?
Yeah.
Remember when he got Maginness?
Yeah.
Before
Hurt
that,
him as well.
Yeah, before that, he was going at 113. Right?
Extraordinary.
He ended on an average of 109. A lot of people are on board.
Yeah.
Now,
And that's not a problem.
it's not a problem, but the problem is this. Round 4, he meets Maginness again. Round 5, he has the bye.
That's a tough 3 weeks.
So we've had a pretty big line almost of going, we're not starting a premium that's got an early buy.
Yes.
Unless they had upside and value. Is there upside in
With
Daicos?
Daicos, yes, in round
Really?
6.
But is there
Yeah.
upside
Look,
on that
Is
109
the downside of
average?
Finn and then a buy enough to say no, despite you being a jet who will probably go 115 plus?
It has to be a no.
Yeah.
It has to be a no. Look, as I said, he was going 113 before he got injured in that Maginness game. He was struggling anyway.
He was.
Okay. He can be a 115 guy.
Yes, definitely.
Let's remember, he's entering a third breakout season, Roy. Breakout. It could be a
Breakout.
120.
125.
It could be nasty.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah, he has the skill set to be nasty.
Really nasty.
Yeah.
So I think he's cheap, right?
Yeah.
But he is a guy you are looking at in round 6,
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think there's a world where you can start him.
No, it's fair too, which pains me to say because in an ordinary year, despite that Finn matchup being there, I'd be, all
Agreed.
in. I'm paying that.
And
Because you can't enjoy a Collingwood game if you don't have him.
That hurt early on.
It would do. You'd have to turn the TV off,
I think I threw things at it.
I reckon.
Because, I know when fantasy first opened, I was clicking away, I'm going to have a bit of Daicos and this and this.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, now that it's sunk in, you're like, I just don't think we can. And it
Like if we want to improve as coaches, which we need to, we can't be following our heart and just getting Daicos because we love him and he's sick.
I know.
But then we overthought it last year. And that was a mistake. And that was a problem.
Look, and that's the thing.
Let's clarify, dog. I
Calvin
told you
was there
to
with
get
you.
him.
Can't remember what I did, to be honest, dog. Now, we're not avoiding him because of the tag. It's the buy. Okay, so the tag might not even happen. Maginness might not even play.
He may be in the VFL.
He might be in the VFL.
6 weeks is a long time. A lot can happen
Yes.
in that time. So maybe that's 5 weeks of footy from Nick Daicos. That's all right.
Is anyone
then
else
you worry
gonna
about
tag
the
him?
problem when you get to it.
So he goes against...
Get 2 trades. Get 3. 2 trades a week. You can deal with that. You could flick him off.
So he
if you wanted
goes
to.
Sydney, St Kilda, Brisbane up there, Hawthorn, which is obviously the tagged game, and then he's bye. Port Adelaide, which are a red team on the scale, dog, the following week. So maybe you could hold off till he plays Essendon. He plays Essendon round 7.
You have to have him by round.
You've got to
7.
have him by round 7.
Okay,
struggle.
I'm a no.
I'm a no, because that's the question, dog.
But I can see why
That is the
people are
question.
doing it. They'll be laughing at us. If he goes 5 weeks
I know.
averaging 120 plus, he'll be like, oh, imagine what people are saying.
He'll be well over a
I'm
million.
scared of a round 6 buy. We'll be the laughing stock again.
I know.
Hit up Calvin's article at afl.com.au and vote in this poll. Is Nick Daicos a certain starter in your fantasy classic team? A, yep, he's a gun. B, I'm still undecided. C, nup, early buy and early tag. I'm the C.
I'm a C. Look, and I said, cross the tag part out, okay, because that may not happen. The buy, Roy, that will definitely happen.
It looks like it's going to happen.
Yeah, whether Finn's there or not, that buy will go ahead.
Is that good that he may not? have a
Well,
bye.
that's it. He just gets to
He'll
go
still
by.
score. He will find a way to score in a bye. I'm on board with that one. I'm C as well at this stage.
All right.
Okay, other than Nick Daicos, brother Josh, he had a breakout season.
Good player.
He went from 78 average up to 95. A little bit of a foot injury at the moment, though. So
Yeah.
he's taken a few weeks off to get that right.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Pete Larkins.
I read it on the AFL website. Tom Mitchell, little pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, we all know what the pig can do.
Yes.
This is his last year was his worst year in 8 years.
Yeah.
The pig's getting on a bit, though. He's
30 plus now.
He's 30, the old pig. But he was getting subbed.
Yeah.
Him and Pendles, they were getting subbed.
It's called
Now,
management.
It is management.
It is. And I think the pig may be managed again.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's the worry. They had him peaking at finals.
Yes,
He
we averaged
kicked ass in the finals.
bulk tackles.
Yep.
And he went at 101 in the AFL.
Those tackle numbers in those last couple of games were epic.
I was seeing him.
20 plus, I think.
Saw him on Instagram today, actually, practicing tackle techniques with Jack Viney.
Oh,
They were
jiu-jitsu or whatever he was doing.
But they've converted their jiu-jitsu into tackle practice.
Right.
And, Cow, I think that tackle count, it may go up again.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's priced
back.
at a 92. So I'd take him a bit earlier in draft.
Yeah, this is the thing. The management side of the pig now, they want him peaking in finals. They're playing for back-to-back flags.
They are. And we'll talk about that in a minute because when we talk about the young kids coming through.
Yep.
DeGoat, Jordan DeGoey, he's a midfielder, straight up, gets bulk CBAs for him.
He had the most, didn't he?
He had the most, so he was at 79%. Pendle's the next best at 65, but they're at what they are, in my opinion. So the GOAT went at an 87.
Yeah.
Year before he was a 70, then an 84. I don't think he can get to the 90s, can he?
Yeah, he could. But you're not worrying about it in terms of selecting him.
No. Pendlebury's at an 88 this year. He was an 85 the year before. A lot of these guys are sort of where they're at.
Yes.
Old Chippy, Jack Crisp. Now, he's an interesting one because leading into last year, he was going at an average of 94 and a 102.
Yeah.
Yep.
He got an 83. 83.
That's a long way down from what he's probably done.
Now, this is a guy that hasn't missed a game. I think it's like 7 years or something. He just turns up.
Yeah.
Even when he's dropped, he just turns up. I'm still playing. I don't care. Bit of a sleeper.
He'll be better than that.
He will.
Yeah.
He only had 29% CBAs.
Yeah, he was definitely a role change.
Does he go back?
But he could get his defender status back because he obviously doesn't have it at the moment. So that could increase his value come draft day.
Could.
Do you guys like drafting for a potential
I'm a
position
sucker
change?
for it. Yeah, I love it.
Hopeless for it.
Yeah.
Because that would be, like, you don't want to bump him up too far.
Nah.
No.
Because if it doesn't happen...
Quite often I chase
pretty
those and miss. Yeah.
It's
average
like who's one that I targeted? Like a, no, he's already a defender. Who else we got? Guys like, then you've got your Darcy Cameron. But that's where he's
So you're a
at.
midfielder?
Who? No. So that's where he's at, though, at an 84.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought that could have been a bit higher.
We
I think we
did.
probably projected him to be closer to 90.
84.
But
Like,
old mate, Mason Cox. He played 16 games, old Coxie.
I know.
All right. Like, we're struggling for forwards. We've got Lipinski here,
Yep.
80 in 2022, under 70.
Yeah.
But you do it with no...
He was injured to start
Yeah.
with, wasn't he? Because I remember drafting him and he got injured
Yeah.
that weekend.
Because he's someone you're going to
cracking
take in draft hoping for 10
An
to
80.
15
Yeah,
points on that.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Let's have a look at some cheapies. I don't think there's anyone else in that top.
Is this your fresh blood?
Brackets,
you're looking at?
okay.
Your new meat in the middle.
Now, okay, DeGoey's 27. Pendlebury, LeBron-like Roy, 35.
He's good.
Yeah.
Pig is 30. Chippy is 30. Now, there's no Taylor Adams. So there is a little spot that is vacant in there.
Taylor Adams, 39%.
39%
CBAs. That's more than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was
Did it-
literally sitting forward.
Did it die off as the season went on?
I'm pretty sure
I'm
that
assuming it would have.
it would have. Now,
Dried up.
there is-
whatever word I'm trying to use.
so
there.
basically,
End of the
they're the
series.
main guys they use. Your Goat, Pendlebury, Mitchell, and of course Daicos, who had 42%.
Yeah.
The next best then was your Adams and then Chippy. So if there's no Adams, there's CBAs. They're going to need someone else. Now, is that guy going to be Finlay Macrae, forward, 310k.
That's what we're sort of all hoping, I guess.
13% of people
At that
were on
price.
board. Okay, now, he was drafted in 2020. VFL last year was a 94. The year before that, he was a 92. So if he gets the opportunity,
Can score.
he can score. He played one game last year and he scored a 47.
Ooh.
Right, but he laid 8 tackles.
More tackles than touches.
More tackles than touches.
Okay.
So, will he get the opportunity? Adams is gone. It feels like he could be the guy that they go, well, now's your time, mate. There's a spot up for grabs. Because these old guys, they can't be doing this forever.
No.
So Daicos obviously will be the next thing through, but 27, 35, 30 and 30 years of age, you
There's
can't
gonna be
have.
opportunities.
But as you said, this is their window to go back to back.
Yeah.
They're going to go again with this older crew
Yeah.
and milk it while they can.
Well, they can't go back to back unless they won it the year before. Of course, it's their window, you peanut.
That's what I mean. So I don't think, why would they get rookies in there when they don't need to?
Because they're going to manage these older bodies, and that's going to be the opportunity.
So he's going to be a very interesting one there, old Finlay, to see if he doesn't tilt his head either,
No,
which is
hasn't
good.
he?
No.
I think
Pre-season reports have been good for him.
Yes.
I think he should be right.
So it'll be interesting to
One to watch
see.
very closely.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the practice game and then, of course, opening round as well. So we will get a little bit of a
Preview.
A bit of a preview.
Yeah.
Next one I want to talk about is Nathan Kruger.
Why?
Okay. Dan McStay's out.
Yeah.
Okay. Who feels that? This guy could be the guy.
Johnson.
Yeah, but this guy could be the guy, dog. Help me out here, right? Ruck Ford,
You
261.
were struggling to find content with this.
261. He's a ruck forward. He could be your R3. We throw that position away anyway.
Yeah.
What? Spend an extra 61k.
If he's
Oh,
playing.
don't you talk about that, dog. That's your hitting zone, that is.
If he's playing opening round, right?
He's no Binsey.
You're going to pay up. You're going to pay that
That's
extra
true.
60k for that guy that's just going to play. 24-year-old
Okay.
could be there to replace McStay.
Could.
Couple of other guys.
Put a little favourite on him in your...
And that's it. Chuck one on
that
these
his?
guys. Nah, chuck one on these guys as well. Charlie Dean, 200k defender, played one game in the VFL last year because he's been injured. So he turned up in the VFL for the elimination final for his very first game. Scored 67. Needs a bit of luck though, but probably not. Father-son, Edward Allen. Eddie Allen. So he's a mid 200k. He averaged 68 in the VFL last year. And Jacob Ryan is another one because he played one game last year. He was in round 23. He got injured in the second quarter. He was on 19, so he was doing okay.
Yeah.
But so the fact that they gave him a game, 200k defender, maybe Roy, he can pop his head in. But the thing is, I don't think they don't need to be doing anything other than what they were doing at the end of the year.
They're a good team.
They're a great team.
Yeah.
So they're going to keep playing these old guys, a bit like the 96 Bulls, Roy. I'll see how many basketball references I can get into this today.
Look,
Pendles. They had a basketball
there was one I was
Yeah.
going to ask you about because there is that saying, you're only as good as your last game.
Oh, yes.
Now, there
Who
is
you
a
got?
flag. He might just be a big game player, but Billy Frampton is coming off a big one in the GF.
Right.
Didn't you research that?
No, I
Do you
didn't
know
know.
what he had?
No?
4.
So I was thinking to myself, I would have seen it. So
He
Billy
had 2
Frampton,
touches.
457k defender. Avoid. So I guess as far as the Pies go, not much is going to change as far as their structure and what they're going to do. Maybe Finlay can get in the guts a little bit here or even crack the best 22 to replace a bit of Taylor Adams.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Jeez, we've finished off with a ripper here on the
But-
Club Preview podcast series, Cow.
but the Nick Daicos one's the interesting one. I don't.
It is.
So you talked all about him and then you said, nah, I'm not going to pick him.
No, but 54% of people who have picked him, I think that needs to decrease.
Yeah.
Is it a terrible thing, though? I think there's
it's
still
not
a play
terrible
to
thing.
pick him.
If they had the round 2 bye like Carlton, I'd be like, just
Yeah,
wait
no.
on it. But 5 weeks, Like 5 weeks, our season's done already by 5 weeks. Looking at recent history, like that's 5 weeks. It could be with Daicos keeping our head above water.
The other thing,
So what are they, around 5?
yeah, and that's shared with Sydney.
Yeah.
So if you're going a Grundy, then you've got to be 2 guys down. I just don't think you can do it.
I'll be 2 ex-pies there. I'll have Grundy and Adams.
Adams. Oh,
You still know Adams count.
I'm a no
So that
Adams.
round, that counts me out of a Daicos. But I'm telling you, he could come out
I
and do
agree.
a month of 120s.
Yeah.
Well, you saw how he started last year. That was nasty. There you go, Doc. A lot to talk about, a lot for people out there to think about as far as the Pies go, Roy.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot going on.
Thanks for your fantastic research, Cow.
That's you're
Make sure you have gone to afl.com.au to read the article.
Oh, that's worth
How are you going to
reading.
get words out of this?
No, that's great. The article's a ripper.
I reckon it
Is
would
it?
be.
It's a ripper. Yeah.
You've been hitting those
Yeah.
for 6.
6 runs.
6.
Yeah.
You're going to hit the roof. Fell back down on your head. Might explain a few things. Now, that's the club preview series done. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you've enjoyed them and helped make some decisions about your team.
We've got more
Because now
stuff.
the preseason
Yes,
starts.
I know.
Again.
Again.
Preseason started a long time ago for us, but now we start hitting normal things.
Yes.
Regular podcasts, talking strategy, talking things that get us all happening for the season. And it's going to be a super interesting next 6 weeks or so because we've got these match simulations around the corner. We've got the community series. We've got opening round, which are real games for real points and real fantasy points in a way.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's going to be huge.
it is.
People
And the best place to be is listening
yes.
to
Of
the
course.
traders on whichever podcast feed you're listening to and going to afl.com.au/fantasy and following all our socials.
Of course.
So much stuff for you to have an epic season. We're off to a cracking start.
Well, that's the thing. If we were a player and there was a report on how we've started pre-Christmas and just post-Christmas,
Yeah.
ticking all boxes, meat on the bone is what the word would be.
There are
100%.
houses that have been burnt down
Yep.
and, is it tracks burnt down?
Burning up the
Houses?
track.
Burning up the track.
Houses trained down.
Oh, God.
We've trained houses down. We've burnt up tracks.
I think we just pulled a hammy, to be honest.
We might need a rest, but there won't be much rest. So make sure you're sticking with us. Lots of cool stuff to
You've
come.
been listening to the official AFL Fantasy podcast. For more expert advice from the traders, head to afl.com.au/fantasy.